All right, it's on live stream right now.
Leave me alone.
All right, let Rebuff leave. Yeah, let Rebuff.
Look, I came into class today. I was like, I'm gonna log in this.
All right, shh. All right, so
The only time you want me to
it's okay.
No, I'm logging in this time. Like for the next test, I'm gonna get above an 8. Huh? No.
White.
Is it iron right?
Oh.
Black.
Yeah. Okay. I don't know why I guess.
All right,
The name is not.
all right. So what we're gonna do is let summation of a to n be a series with non-zero terms. So it cannot be.
Can you?
Oh, sorry. Okay, so first thing is the series summation of a to the n is converge absolutely when limits as n approach infinity of the a to the n plus 1 over a to the n. Now it has to be absolute value is less than 1. If it's less than 1, it's converge. Also, smallest value can be 0. Okay, so it's converge absolutely, right? 2. The series of summation of a to the n diverge when limits as n approach infinity of the a n plus 1 over a to the n absolute value is greater than 1, or limit n approach infinity of a to the n plus 1 over a to the n is equal to infinite, and that will be cause the series to diverge. Now sometimes the ratio test could be inconclusive. Is it inconclusive?
Wait, this is ratio.
Mm-hmm. I didn't write it on top. Sorry, I forgot. The ratio test is inconclusive when limits n approach infinity of absolute value a n plus 1 over a to the n is equal to 1. So when it equal to 1, it's inconclusive. Intuitively, it should kind of make sense because you compare your next term. You create a ratio between your next term over your original term. Your original term should technically be bigger than your next term, right? So therefore, if limit n approach infinity on the a to the n plus 1 over a to the n is less than 1, that means your next term is smaller than the term before. And so this is a good comparison, good thinking. If they are less than 1, it should converge absolutely. Now, why is absolutely? Because we did absolute value of something. Now, you do have something like this, very similar on the test. But it's not like this, of course. I'm starting to feel better.
In the past like 10 minutes.
I just had to believe.
Dark class period, just like that. Have a healing effect.
Oh, okay.
All right, so
It is.
Why do you keep skipping it?
yeah, Daniel.
Bro, that class is terrible.
What is it?
With psychology.
Oh, absolutely. I do too.
See?
But shoot, let's see. Like I walked in there.
Wait, we haven't.
But we didn't film today, yeah.
Well,
Well, not today.
Yeah.
It's usually.
Wait, how'd you get an A if you just skip our?
I walk into her class, sit in for her. She goes, no. I said, okay, I'm leaving. She goes, okay.
what? Okay.
I got certain.
It's really good.
I did that today.
With what?
With the-
But I went to McDonald's.
No,
Well, I low key bombed the test today because I haven't been in school or in that class.
All right, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna approach this one. We're gonna approach to infinity of 2 to the m plus 1 over m plus 1 factorial. Does that make sense? Over 2 to the n. And rest of them just algebra. This one is equal to limits as n approach infinity of 2 to the n plus 1. So I'm going to convert that to 2 to the n and 2. And I'm going to change the n plus 1 factorial to n plus 1 times n factorial. The reason being is I can cancel out the n factorial by coming up term. Because if you flip, keep change flip here, keep change flip. Yeah. So this one here, it would cancel completely. This is cancel completely. So it's equal to limit at which infinity of 2 to the n plus 1. And if it does approach infinity, that's equal to 0. If it's equal to 0, then summation of n equal to 0, infinity, 2 to the n to m factorial, converge absolutely. Because we do absolute value of something. So it's not, they only converge, they converge absolutely.
Yo, what do we have to do the absolute values? And how do we get rid of the absolute value? Like in the
Because none of this term is negative term.
oh,
Because you n approach infinity, that's just gonna be absolute value or non-absolute value. It doesn't make any changes.
so this is
You can do absolute value here. It's still gonna equal to 0.
so if it's less than 1, it's converged.
Yeah.
Is there like absolute diverge?
There's diverge. There's no absolute diverge. But there's a conditional converge though.
So, like, what this is basically saying is, at infinity, n factor will be so much bigger than 2 to the n, that's they're just 0. That kind of makes sense.
No, we're just creating the ratio. Remember, your next term should be less than your previous term, right?
Yeah, so like at infinity, when you're at the infinite term, so like n factor is just so much bigger than 2 to the n.
Yes.
Then it's-
Oh, you pushed it, Hazel.
I just asked. Oh my
Oh,
god.
he was clearly attacking.
Judging question.
Yeah, what?
Exactly. He was clearly attacking.
You're
Why,
like
why are you sitting?
Like which guy? Right. Oh.
Why anybody want
Like,
to
every
attack
single
Anthony?
thing.
Why he had to attack you, Anthony?
No, I just asked.
He was attacking.
Don't attack Anthony. I kind of want to know Anthony's prospect though.
Don't worry
Let's see if Anthony got game.
about it. I think she's very pretty though.
I think Anthony got game.
You like this one?
I'm not talking to him.
You watching Anthony?
There's one more thing I'm gonna post later, but that's fine.
I mean, you're so funny.
I don't have to post it.
What's the
If you understand those, you understand fine.
Oh, bro.
I mean, I understand all.
Okay, so what we're gonna do is I want you to figure out what is this. And there's another one.
Why is the A1
I'm fine. Leave me alone. I'm gonna live. I'll live you, Callie.
What do you have?
I think you could.
That sounds really scary.
He's like, he's giving you permission.
That's kind of dark, yeah.
Everything okay?
You could have. You just don't.
Be a 150-year-old.
Why is the A1 on the outside?
You have.
What?
Why is A1 on the outside?
Oh, I think. Wait, is that like question A?
What is that?
Yeah, like the question A.
So then,
Oh, it's A period.
A dot
Oh.
B dot.
I was trying to like skits out, bro. I asked the question like 4 times. I thought I was like,
I'm sorry.
I thought I was losing it.
I'm kind of losing it too.
A little bit earlier.
I went home to take a nap.
Is that
Oh,
n to
man.
the 1?
What?
Is that n to the 1?
N factorial.
Come on. Period.
I'm sorry. I'm just not.
Wait, I looked this one up. It's n to the n.
Yeah,
When I merged it, I put it in Desmos and I went to like 100,000. X to the x, x factorial, 4 to the x, and x.
Yeah, but we gotta prove it. They diverge.
Being calculated.
Approved by them.
Oh.
You have no calculator when you're doing
So I
sequence.
write that on the AP exam, but I did this in Desmos like a week ago.
You know the funny thing is that the SAT is gonna be so easy coming up in March.
Is that all?
Everything you can go do of Desmos.
Well, that doesn't mean they're all gonna know how to do it.
That's true.
Like, keep in mind, like, you can't think the math of college readiness kids.
Well, they won't even know what's 20% of 50 is. They'll be like, I don't know what to plug in the calculator.
Do you already fill off the perks?
You want some?
Dude, this is the one thing I can confirm from my parents. Notice everything else is like.
Is it a convergence student? Yeah.
I don't know. Ah,
Well, I just didn't.
It's fine.
Two.
How do I factor out n plus 1 to then? Nine half was that?
Oh, it's the end.
What do you mean?
Oh, yeah, I thought it was a 2. It's so funny, man.
Oh, they're doing a second one. Still working on the perks.
Oh, you did this.
yeah, you did this last period.
Came in pretty late.
You did come in pretty late. I was talking to Veda. Veda was talking about Miss Prom was saying something about I charge student.
Miss Parma?
Or Mr. Parm.
Miss Parm.
Damn, you got beef with Mr. Parm now?
No, Mrs.
Mrs. Parm?
No, I don't have ops yet. But she
Miss Farm is.
she should have come talk to me before she
Why
talked
do
to
you
the
care?
kids. No, I don't
Oh,
charge my student. I have my student charge my student.
Yeah.
Miss Farm tried to steal my food. That's messed up.
Okay, so limit n approach infinity will be m plus 1 squared 2 to the n times 2 to the 2 over 3 to the n. Oh, I forgot the plus 1. I'm so sorry. And that's going to be 3 to the n. Well, this one I'm going to change to 3 times 3. And this one is going to be 3 to the n squared times 2 to the n times 2. Ideally, I hopefully to see something cancel out. And I actually do. I cancel out this, I cancel out this. I cancel out this, I can cancel out this. and 2 is going to cancel out with the one of those two. So it'll be limits n approach infinity of n plus 1 square to the 2 over 3 n square.
Over 3.
So you divide it by, if you expand it, 2n squared plus 4n plus 2 over 3n squared. If you divide by n squared on top and bottom, that's going to be limit n approach infinity of 2 plus 4 over n plus 2 over n squared over 3. Then that's going to be 2 over 3, which is converge. Absolutely.
For number 2, it could be. You got you get 1. So, but I think this is we've done this one, and this would be that.
I'm going to do n. I'm going to do limit n approach infinity. Oh, I messed up again. Sorry. N plus 1
Wait,
to
wait,
the
wait.
n plus 1.
Let us do this one because I think I can do it. Wait,
Okay.
Trust.
I'm okay. I'm let you do it. I'm just gonna write down this.
It's not equal to 1.
I mean, we can use answers, but
Yeah, there's some like weird stuff.
it would make sense.
I did that too just now. Like,
I mean, no.
Oh, true. Wow, I don't know.
Yeah.
Oh, I think it's the last period.
Which is the sentence?
Why you blame on me?
Because remember, you did that last period. I was like,
Okay.
Yeah, I just kind of.
yeah, yeah, you're right. No, you're right.
I would, you got. And. I'm sorry, just.
I'm trying to go to.
Can I just put it in?
n plus 1 to the n over.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
Really?
That's right.
Yo.
N plus 1.
And then that would be n plus 1.
So essentially what you got, but out to the back.
What?
Okay.
We mean it's e.
Because it would be 1 plus.
That's a definition of e.
This is the
N
definition
plus
of
1
e.
over n to the power of n.
Yeah, it's on a competition problem. Daniel, remember?
And then e is
It was like.
greater
E to the 100. Yeah.
Explain the e
So it
thing
is
again.
fine.
This is e. This is definition of e. But we just converted to that, so it's definition of e. E is greater than 1. This diverge.
Never mind. Yeah.
Very matchups and I sang the block my nail.
Okay, so this is the last one. This one's the most difficult one. You had to go through a couple different tests. First of all, ratio test.
So this is divergent. How are we supposed?
It's greater than 1 is diverge.
Yeah, I know, but how are we supposed to know this is the e?
We learned at the beginning of the year. Or like the beginning of school.
It's over. Good.
That's yours.
Where are the next math competitions?
Next one. You really want to go to Harvard, don't you? What's fun in Harvard?
Well, like, Where do you think I get all my keyboards?
Gambling is legal for
Can you you can't even go to slot machine.
Dude, I tried.
When I go-
Yeah.
When I go, it's not like amazing. We just go to all the restaurants and look at it because they get most of the complimentary.
Oh, they give it to you guys.
Yeah, and then
Like, I was up
The pool.
playing draft sometime.
but it's just like it's only fun because I have other people.
You always need to be ridiculous something.
I want to play poker when I get there.
Bro, I
After
just
the math competition, we watch you play poker.
It's since they're both the same. The inverse is just hard and slow.
For this particular one, ratio test is going to be kind of interesting because if you have square root of n plus 1 over n plus 2 over square root n over n plus 1 absolute value.
Wait, you don't have to do the.
Oh, I'm gonna get, yeah, I did forgot that part, but it doesn't matter. I'm gonna show you why it doesn't matter. So this one is -1 to the n plus 1, and this is -1 to the n. But if you do absolute value, that doesn't matter anymore, so they kind of
Oh,
go
okay.
away. Limit n approach infinity is gonna be n plus 1 over n plus 2 times square root n over, oh, sorry, it's the other way. N plus 1 over square root n. I can change this to radical. So square root n plus 1 over square root n times n plus 1 over n plus 2. I'm gonna divide it by square root n on both sides. So that's gonna be 1. And this one's gonna divide it by n. It's gonna be 1. So it's equal to 1.
Whoa. Hold up. How did you get the first part?
I divided by the top and bottom by square root n. So it'd be anything go to infinite, that's gonna be square root 1. And I'll do the same thing on here. I divide it by n plus 1. I divide it by n top and bottom. When it reach infinity, it's gonna be 1.
So
Alright. And then n plus 1. Top terms divided by the infinity. But the negative 1 power n doesn't matter because you absolute value will always be 1, and anything times 1 is Is what we did for the other question.
okay, so I'm here, right? What do I do next?
You're doing right side up, it does not matter.
Alright, okay. And then, do I gotta do like, oh, work?
You know, my friends went for an hour yesterday. I was so confused. I really went for an hour. So it's like an hour drive.
A lot of stuff activities.
No, but my dad has a hybrid, so yeah.
Why don't you guys just move to Tampa?
No, I don't want to live in Tampa.
And then you'll be there every day. I think that'll be their dream.
No, but I
Come
think-
true,
I
live in
think, like,
Las
about-
Vegas.
They probably want to live in like Vegas.
What?
Vegas.
Oh, Brenton has no casino.
No, but our family's from. Not
All right, so obviously this is inconclusive. So any other test I can do here? I can go to, huh? Probably not a good idea. And what do you want to compare with? That's the problem. So in this specific case, since they are alternating, right? Since they're alternating here, so alternating is a really good option. Alternating is checked because they are -1 to the n, right? And then you can say, are they the next term bigger than the a to the n is greater than equal to a to the n plus 1? Is that true? We can take a derivative. So let's take a derivative of this. F of x equal to square root x over x plus 1. Take it f prime of x is equal to low d high minus high d low over low low. I'm going to factor out the 1/2 x to the -1/2. Third rule alternating is limit and approach infinity is equal to 0. But right now we are checking, are they decreasing? So this one is going to be x plus 1 minus 2x over x plus 1 to the square. So you're going to get -x plus 1 over 2 square root x times x plus 1 squared. When x is greater than 1, it's always negative, decreasing. Because the bottom is positive, this one can only be negative. So therefore, alternative series, one more thing, when limit and approach infinity here of square root x over x plus 1, can I divide it by square root x? Wait, is that a good option?
Square root x.
Huh?
I think you divide by square root x squared.
No, I divide by square root x. Oh, I should divide by the highest power in denominator. Sorry. So square root x over x plus over x plus 1. So I'm gonna divide it by x, and this is the square root x square, just like you say.
Yeah. That's like
So that'd be 1 over square root x over 1 plus 1 over x. When limit and approach infinity is what? 0 over 0, or 0 over 1, sorry. So therefore it's equal to 0. So this is converge, but are they converge conditionally or absolutely? Well, we know here it's not absolutely because it's not equal to less than 1. So we can test for conversion conditionally. So n approach infinity of square root x over x plus 1. I can convert by looking at the highest degree. So that'd be 1 over square root x. We can do limit comparison test. N approach infinity of square root x over x plus 1 times square root x over 1. So equal to limit n approach infinity of x over x plus 1. And when you reach infinity, it's going to be 1. Right? So this is positive and finite. So it's same type of series as 1 over square root n, which as we know does diverge due to p series. So it'll be limit n approach infinity. So it's going to be summation of square root x over x plus 1 to the -1 over n plus 1. And go to 1 to the infinite. This one is going to be converge conditionally because this is diverge. If that's a diverge, it's going to be converge conditionally rather than just converge. Absolutely. Is that okay?